Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Feminism on the Backroad podcast. I'm Sarah Miller, your wonderful host, and I'm about to be here with two amazing friends from back home that took the time out of their day to help me out with this, which is awesome. So, this podcast is my final project for my Women and Gender Studies class at RIT, which this is my dorm at RIT. Welcome. So this semester in Women and Gender Studies, we dove into the work of thinkers like Sarah Ahmed, Kate Manne, and Dean Spade. All wonderful books I read, and it was kind of the template for the questions that I wrote for today, which is awesome. So their ideas really did help me put words into a lot of the things that I lived through, like the awkwardness, the anger, and the resilience of growing up as a queer woman in rural New Hampshire. So today we're going to talk about our experience, what feminism looks like when you're coming of age in a very small town, and the ways we navigate gender, identity, and just being ourselves. That's right, I can't talk, but I've done this like 5 different times. So that's what we're going with. So without further ado, I'm going to time skip to me in the future when I'm with my lovely friends. Alright, let's go.
Welcome everyone to our podcast! Yay! So, I'm Sarah Miller. I'm your host today. My pronouns are she, they. And I'm going to school at RIT for chemical engineering, and I'm minoring in environmental studies and hopefully women and gender studies.
Hello, I'm Tess. I also use she, they pronouns. I'm a freshman at Harvard planning to study government and English with a language citation in French.
I guess then I'm Mikey. I'm a freshman at George Washington University. My major is neuroscience and my minor is statistics.
So, for our warm-up questions, what is one memory from growing up in our hometown that really stands out for you?
Should I go? Should I start?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Backroad.
Why
What?
is it doing that?
Stop zooming. Stop it. Edit that out. Edit
I
that.
will. Don't worry.
One memory that stands out from my hometown is winter carnival in high school. And like everyone would gather around for the bonfire that we had. Oh no, that was homecoming. I lied. The homecoming,
yeah.
the homecoming bonfire. But like even when everyone was trying to show their school spirit and like come together for their community and whatnot, you could see like the little ways that people stuck to those unspoken rules about like who could participate in what. And like everyone was always in their cliques, like even around the bonfire, or yeah, in Winter Carnival, like certain people did
Yeah.
certain things, like the super athletic kids were the only ones that would participate in the sports, and like if you weren't part of the athletic community in school, you felt like you couldn't participate in those and stuff like that. So like I remember both feeling included, but also that I had to be careful about taking up space in spaces where people didn't want me there.
Okay, Mikey, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I do. I have a memory. I remember in the 4th grade when I decided I was going to join Little League. This was a mistake because I was a girl.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think even the coaches didn't like me for that.
Oh.
Well, I think it didn't help that I sucked at baseball, but they would throw baseballs at me like really hard.
Oh my God.
What?
Holy shit. That's insane.
Oh God.
All right.
I also thought I like thought genuinely that I was a boy though, so I was really confused.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is kind of relates to the other one too, but was there a moment when you first realized that people of different identities weren't always treated the same? So we kind of touched on that already.
Yeah.
But if you have anything to add.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess in high school, a lot of classmates or like kids that I noticed were being ignored or talked down to because of who they were or how they expressed themselves. Sometimes it was more subtle, but it was kind of always there, like no matter who it was, um, which was really difficult to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like feel that, like, because I feel when in student council, when we started like kicking people out, like, I don't know, it was just kind of weird because, like, I don't know, like, there were like two very distinct groups in student council, I feel, and then there was just like a bunch of like random people, and like those like random people, I feel like were like, why are you doing anything? Why aren't you doing anything? Like and then we started like being like, all right, you gotta like pull your weight or you're gonna get kicked out. And I don't know, that just felt kind of weird sometimes because like, oh, you're not on this person's side or this person's side. You're just trying to like do something for your school. So like you're getting kicked out. So yeah. Do you have anything to add, Mikey?
I mean, I suppose I remember in 8th grade when the first transgender person came out. This was 8th grade, and yeah, the teacher had to explain to everybody the name change, and yeah, that did not
Oh,
go over well. It wasn't me. It
oh,
wasn't me. It was someone else. But they were like, why would someone do that? That makes no
oh,
sense.
oh, yeah, yeah, because on the, dude, Tess, on the bus for senior trip,
Oh
holy
my God.
shit.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
do you,
Okay.
I don't remember it exactly, so you're
Story
gonna have
time.
to
No, no,
explain,
no, no,
but
I
no,
don't know
wait.
about
Wait.
this.
Yeah.
yeah, no, you should
Okay.
hear this shit.
Okay, story time. Sarah and I had moved to the back of the bus on senior trip because we wanted to sit with Paul, which was great and all, but then it wasn't great because
Yeah,
those kids were sitting like behind us because we were like 5 seats, 5 rows up from the back of the bus. So they were like 4 rows behind us. And on either side was just that friend group, you know?
yeah,
And we're just like minding our own beeswax. We're just having a conversation. We're like eating our Taco Bell because we had just stopped at Taco Bell. We were just like doing our thing. And all of a sudden, like we hit like a quiet moment and we weren't talking. We were just listening to their conversation behind us. And they were like, transgender people aren't even like real. Like, what the hell is all that about? Blah, blah, blah.
yeah, and no, like, we like texted, I think,
So then
too.
I texted and I literally said, let me find it. Hold on.
Yeah, because I think you like said what they said too, because I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. So I texted first text message I ever sent. I said, "Hi, it's Tess. The kids behind us are talking about trans people and which trans is better, slash, which one you would rather be with. So, like, would you
Yeah,
rather be with female to male or male to female?" And I was like, any chance that you could do something? And then 1 minute later, I said, and also now gay people, this is really bad. And
yeah,
she came back to the back of the bus and she said, listen up. I have had multiple people texting me about the conversations that you are saying. You do not say those things on this bus. You do not say those things in general. And if I get another text from people back here, like you will be going to speak with the principal. Like this is
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. It
And
was so fucking bad,
then
so
she texted
bad.
me once she got back up to the front of the bus and she was like, please let me know if they say anything else. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That was not good. That was
I
not
had
good.
no clue about this. What?
I like
Just
forgot about it until just now.
Yeah.
Like,
just casual conversation back there.
Yeah.
yeah, they're like, oh, who would you rather fuck? Like, we're
We
like,
all know they wouldn't
oh,
be. They
like,
wouldn't
exact.
be.
It-
Like, would you rather fuck? Like,
yes.
so now we're gonna move into part one here. So I want to talk about growing up in places where gender roles feel pretty rigid and how that showed up for us. So the first question I have here is, have you ever been made to feel like you were too much just for speaking up or taking space?
Yeah, I guess the issue is that it's still a thing for me. It's still a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Uh, even in Washington D.C., girl, it's like actually I think they did like some kind of research, and it's actually like the gayest by numbers alone. It's the gayest city in America. Like, but
Yeah.
I'm always stealth. If anybody finds out, I'm like, oh, anyone
Yeah.
finds out I'm trans, it's crazy.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I mean, in New
that's
Hampshire, like, of course, that is
yeah, no.
3 times worse.
Yeah. We got people like, bro.
Bro,
John
don't
Sellers
even
at work, bro. Do you remember working and just fucking being
before they fucking fired me. Like,
yeah.
oh. No, I remember. So yeah, because I know she's not anymore, but she thought she was transgender for a while.
Yeah.
Girl, the stuff he would say to her is crazy.
Oh god.
Like, if you become lesbian when you're an adult, I'm gonna come and kidnap you and knock some sense into you. I'm like, what?
Oh my god. Holy shit. Yeah, about your own child is fucking insane too. Like if you don't want your kids to like be transgender or like be gay, like why the fuck are you having kids? Tess.
Yes.
All right. This is your question.
Yippee!
Do you think that small towns judge people for different identities, and can you share a moment where that really hit you?
That's such a silly question. Um, a short answer is yes. Obviously, I think small towns can be really judgmental,
Mm,
because there's this pressure to fit a certain kind of mold, and anyone who's different gets scrutinized immediately.
mm.
So I remember being like stared at or whispered about or campaigned against during runs for class presidency
Yeah, yeah.
because I didn't follow typical like sexuality or gender norms. And so it just made me like really hyper aware of how I moved through the world and how people saw me in the
Mhm.
world, specifically like people from my own community. So that was really fun.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that because I wanted like for class office especially like I wanted to run for something that was like higher up. I don't know the better word for that. Like a bigger place of authority. But I like settled for something lower that I knew I would be able to participate in because I like knew I would be able to get it. Um, just 'cause okay, I keep zooming out. Okay, okay, okay. What
No,
is
I
going on?
actually
But
genuinely
like,
same
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I wanted so bad to run for treasurer. I thought it would be so fun. And
mm,
but like I think I guess this is kind of related, but being autistic especially because I know I was only diagnosed 2 years, a little over 2 years ago now, but
mm,
transgender, autistic, no one's voting for me for treasurer. I'm sorry.
yeah.
No one, the combination, no, they don't like it. They don't like it.
I don't like the yeah, I know. That like just sucks the way that it ended up just being like men in our class, like in like a lot of places of power in our school. I felt like either that like men were in that place or they were like put so high up on a pedestal like even like because redacted name was like walking around with like his president like shirt like in ISS like because they did and he was just like so proud of himself like you can't like strip my like presidency from me because I fucked up but I'm still gonna like go around like showing people that like, well, like I did something wrong, but like I'm still your leader. Like, and like no hate against him at all. Like I don't have anything against him, but like it just like shows how like societal norms, even in a small rural like high school in New Hampshire, like you still see that shit.
No, it's weird because I feel like especially our class, like a lot of the other classes had female officers.
Yeah,
I don't I don't get what was different about our class, but I don't know.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. Okay, part two. Okay, so we talked about the ways the system can hold women and queer people back, but what about making ourselves and other people visible? All right, first question. When did you first notice that women or queer people weren't represented correctly, maybe in school, art, or media?
Yeah, I think this was my question.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you have most of it.
okay.
But we
Uh,
can we can just like t yap too. Like I'm not worried.
yeah. Um, I think I noticed that like when I realized all of the like history and literature and like school leadership roles were dominated by men.
Mhm.
Um, and in a way, it made me feel invisible and like my perspective wasn't necessarily considered important. Like senior year running for class president after losing like two other times. And I like went up there and I made a genuine speech. I was like, listen, like, who do you want in charge of your reunions? Who do you want in charge of your senior year? With all the important things going on, like here is my resume. Here are the things I have done. Here are the leadership roles I have held. This is why I am the most qualified candidate for class president. And I was the only girl running. And then my opponents were men, and they went up there and they were like basically just crapping on my character. Like they had no platform as to like this is what I would do for the class. This is what I would like, these are the things that I have done to prove to you that I can hold this position. They just went up there and said how I was terrible and just crapped on me as a human being. And yet somehow they still won. Like, they did not go up there and were like, hey, I had all these leadership positions. Like, this is what I envisioned for their class. They basically were like, Tess sucks and won't do anything. But if you want someone who doesn't suck, vote for me. Like, what kind of
Yeah.
campaign is that? Like, I was just, yeah.
Another question for Tess or anyone. Do you think that humor or irony is sometimes the best way to challenge inequality? I like this question.
Well, I don't think that like it's necessarily the best way, but I think that humor as resistance is like absolutely a thing that you can do.
Hmm.
Um, because it is powerful, and especially in small towns when people get defensive really easily. Um, I think like it's a good way to challenge assumptions without creating those walls between people, and it makes these like serious conversations more accessible, but I
Mm.
don't think like I feel like it's a coping mechanism for people who just don't want to have those serious conversations or just can't have those serious conversations. But I don't think it's necessarily the best way to do it because if you do it all the time and you never have those serious conversations, then people just kind of think that your like opinions or things are jokes because you just make jokes about them all the time.
Mm.
So,
Solid.
thanks.
Because I put that on there. I can show you guys. Because we talked about the Guriella Girls. I think I sent you my poster, Tess.
Yes.
Yeah. So like they are really like outspoken about like a lot of like feminist stuff, but like one of their big ones was like women modeling in like museums. I don't know.
Put it above your face. Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So they like wear these like gorilla masks because they're anonymous, but they make a bunch of different posters, and this one was about like the naked women models in museums.
Alright, future editing Sarah here. I explained that a little bit incorrectly in the moment, but what the poster says is, do women have to be naked to get into the Met Museum? Less than 4% of the artists in the modern art section are women, but 76% of the nudes are female. So what they're saying is that, do they have to be naked to be in, do women have to be naked to be in the museum?
Okay, so part 3. Even when we push back against injustice, it's not always easy. So let's talk about resilience and being a killjoy. So first question, have you ever been called dramatic or too much just for pointing out something that's unfair?
Yeah, I would say literally all the time. Um, like honestly, I feel like it's kind of a rite of passage for women and queer people who just challenge norms in small towns. Like
Yeah.
I don't think you don't get called that. Like, yeah. Um, but like over time, I think I've learned that being called dramatic usually just means that you're speaking truth that other people aren't necessarily ready to hear. But it's important to say it nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, especially before I started hormones, I would get called dramatic for asking people to use my pronouns. I think it's a lot of because of those, hysterical men and going into the store and getting mad when they're called sir. You've seen the videos.
Yeah.
So just my simple ask gets turned into that.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, that one video of the woman in GameStop.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
remember that? Yes. Yeah, you
Yeah.
remember.
You're gonna give me my fucking money back.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here. And you watch
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay?
Both of you guys?
Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir.
And this is kind of like a follow-up. What's a time you spoke up even when it cost you something, and why was it worth it?
This is a good question. Um,
I have one from
Yeah, go ahead.
actually last month. So in public speaking class, I have this I guess business-ish class. We had this like ad hoc hiring committee of how management, choosing hiring. And the paper was obviously like very old from like probably 20 years ago. And it was like, oh, very qualified guy, but he's gay, and a lot of customers do not agree with that. And then all the other people on my committee, they were like, yeah, but the customers are uncomfortable. I don't think we should hire him. We should hire these other people who are less qualified. And it's like, I was like,
Oh my God.
bro, what? Like, listen. And my college is very liberal, trust me.
Yeah.
Except for the damn GW college Republicans. Don't get me started.
Every
my
college
God.
has their Republican group, I fear.
We had RFK at our campus about a week ago, so two of my groups actually were campaigning against it. The Trans and Non-Binary Student Committee and the Disabled Students Collective were both
Oh,
like, no,
fire.
this is not happening.
Get this
And,
guy out of here.
and the college Democrats, of course, where they were all like,
Mhm.
nah.
Yeah, get this guy out of here. That's terrible.
They still let him. He did his speech,
Wow.
Wow.
Girl,
All
at
right.
the only school of public health in DC.
Yeah, what? That's so interesting.
Wow.
That's very
This,
interesting.
this is not being bipartisan, girl. This is just being ignorant.
Yeah. I fear. Okay. So, final part before the conclusion here. Now let's dive into how our identities intersect, queerness, gender, class, small town life, and how that shapes our experiences. So, first one, what was it like discovering your queerness or gender identity growing up in a small town?
I would say that it was confusing and isolating. definitely. Because there weren't a lot of visible role models. Like obviously there were online, but not in my community. So it kind of felt like I had to navigate everything alone.
Mm.
But like over time and like once I got into high school and started to get out of just the small town and like into the greater community, um, I found like friends and teachers and like online people that made me feel seen. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had never met a queer adult until like I was at least 15, 16 in our community. No, I had never met a queer adult.
Yeah. All right, next question. Did you ever feel like you had to leave home to fully be yourself? Like you
Yes,
picked this one. Yeah. Yes.
I swear, even if I was, cis straight, you know, I this town is not it.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. I definitely feel like you definitely need to experience different things in your life than your hometown, whether it's in a good place or not. Like, it's always important just to see how the rest of the how the rest of the world is, and like especially as like a young adult, um, to have that experience, I feel is very meaningful.
yeah, I feel like I second what Mikey said, definitely.
Mm, yeah. Were there communities, friends, or mentors that helped you feel seen or supported?
Yes. Um, Shout out to the two people on Zoom right now. Yay!
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, like, I think like supportive teachers too. Like, we had a good amount of supportive teachers in our school, at
Yeah.
least like the ones that you
Miss
surrounded.
Lowell,
Yes,
Miss K.
yes, yes. Um, so like I feel like we had a really good like supportive teachers group. So yeah, definitely. And that I mean, those things like meant everything to me for sure.
Mhm. I feel
I
like
don't think I don't think any
yes.
of our teachers were necessarily unsupportive, but a lot of them were just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, I don't think you like hate me, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way to be like, hey, I'm this and this and this. Like, like, but I don't feel like they would necessarily be like, I know what you are, like so so thank you guys so much for sharing your stories. I think that it's really clear that feminism isn't just a theory, it's how we navigate life, call out injustice, and support each other. From challenging everyday misogyny to making invisible work visible to embracing our identities with pride, these conversations remind us that living a feminist life is ongoing, complicated, and always worth it. Always worth it. All right, so I have one final question, a little reflective question. Um, and it is, if you could give your younger self advice about gender identity or self-worth, what would it be?
I think I would tell myself that it's okay to take up space and ask questions and demand respect. Like you
Mhm.
don't have to shrink yourself to make other people feel comfortable.
Dude, I'm low key reading a book in this class right now called Unshrinking. That's low key crazy.
I would definitely tell myself to Google transgender, so I was less
Go ahead
confused.
and Google this for me. I need you
Um,
to.
yeah, like maybe in like third grade.
Any final words?
Be gay. Do gay.
Any shout outs, guys?
Shout out to Sarah Miller for getting us all on Zoom at the
Okay, well,
same time.
Yes, shout out to Sarah Miller
thank you.
for
I
sure.
appreciate your
Shout out to
kindness.
Mikey's dog for the cameo.
Yeah, yeah, shout out, Molly. What are you thinking?
Shout out for the Zoom for following Sarah's face and zooming in and out.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love it so much. I'm like,
My iPad does the same thing, so like I'm confused. Is that just like an iPad thing?
I remember on the New Hampshire Youth Movement Zoom meetings, it'd just be like,
Yeah,
No. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, thank you. All right, so thank you for listening to Feminism on the Backroad. We hope this inspires you to reflect on your own experiences, challenge assumptions, and celebrate resilience wherever you are. Boom!
Okay, I just wanted to come back one last time just for my acknowledgements and to share my gratitude to all the authors, artists, activists, and philosophers that I explored throughout this semester. I'm going to link all of the books and works that I looked at in the description, so if anyone watches this and is curious, you can go ahead and look. So these are all the people. So this is acknowledgements to Kate Manne, Sarah Ahmed, Katherine Angel, Dean Spade, the Guriella Girls, and my professor and our classmates. This podcast would not exist without the voices who challenged me and inspired me, and I'm really grateful for that, and I'm really happy with how this came out, and hopefully I can make some more episodes in the future. So yeah, thank you, bye!